Okay. Take 509. Jeez. Don't ever use the LG G3 camera. It's terrible. I mean, the picture quality is pretty good, but it was like deleting the video and cutting it off in 5 minutes. I had to like reset my whole phone to get it to work, but whatever. So, I saw Interstellar, and it's an incredible movie. I don't know why everyone's just saying it's good, it's okay, because it was a lot of hype, because Christopher Nolan has a pretty flawless track record, and everyone's saying, oh, we're so hyped for this movie, it's gonna be awesome, it's gonna be film of the year, and then they're all like, oh, is it good? Yeah, but it's not perfect like we wanted it to be, and I'm like, did you see the same movie that I did? Because Interstellar is incredible. It's everything I wanted it to be. I had really high hopes of this movie, so I guess I should thank the reviews for bringing my expectations down a little bit so that they could be shot back up again when I saw the movie. It's nearly flawless. This movie's so good. So, it's Matthew McConaughey going into space because Earth is dying and he's got to save the human race. And that's all I'm going to say about the plot, because I want you going in knowing as little as possible. And it's not nearly as hard to follow as people have been saying too. They're like, oh, it's all clunky and it gets muddled and the science doesn't make sense. And like there have been like astronauts and scientists and people who work in this field who saw the movie and said like, yeah, that's spot on. And most of this is, except for like the end a little, again, no spoilers, but most of it is legit science. Like all like the theory of relativity and with everything else that it deals with, that's all real. Like that actually happens. You don't have to understand why it happens, as long as you can believe that it actually happens. So, Matthew McConaughey, he was a great performance. He's fresh off of his Oscar win from the Dallas Buyers Club, and he's really, really, really good in this movie. Like, so is his little daughter, little girl actress, whoever plays Murph, and she looks exactly like a younger version of Jessica Chastain. I thought that was really good. So, props to that for picking a kid actor who looked so much like her, and they were both so good. And I was in tears within the first half hour of the movie. And this is just such an epic journey, and I could not have said anything more cliche than that, but really, this movie is gorgeous, like top-notch CGI and production design. Like, the space sequences are some of the coolest things I've ever seen in a movie. I'm like, oh, like, he just did that! Like, thank you so much, Christopher Nolan, for making this movie. Everyone's like, Christopher Nolan wasn't the right director, it should have been Stevens, but it's like, I don't know what they're talking about. Do not listen to any other reviews on YouTube. Look at the Metacritic and look at the user score on IMDb. And that'll tell you this is gonna be really, really good. And it is. You gotta see it in IMAX. It's gorgeous. You have to worry about 3D extra ticket price because Christopher Nolan doesn't use 3D, and usually 3D is dumb, but I think in a movie like this, it would have benefited from the 3D, at least in the space sequences, but then you'd have to take off the glasses so that Matthew McConaughey's face isn't all up like that. But, yeah, so, music, too. Music is fantastic. Hans Zimmer does not let us down. A lot of organ, it's really intense, and he's good at big, sweeping orchestral scores, and then the subtler, more edgy, kind of ominous scores, and that's mostly what's here in this movie. And this movie does not disappoint any category. What did I talk about? I talked about acting. Anne Hathaway looked like she was going to be really boring in the trailer, or obnoxious in the trailer, but she wasn't in the movie, not at all. And yeah, everyone was really good. And there's a couple of celebrity cameos. They're like, oh, it's not a cameo, but like a character movie that's revealed to be a celebrity. You're like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like I know who that is, and that's all really good. And I can't think of anything bad about this movie. It's exactly what I was hoping for from Christopher Nolan. It's exactly what I was expecting, and you all need to go and see it. Interstellar is the best film of the year so far, with X-Men, Days of Future Past, not so close, but a good second. And then Hobbit will come out later in December, and then we'll have to see. But so yeah, I think that's it. And so yeah, if you haven't seen it, I'm done with you. Go. Interstellar is a 10. It's incredibly, insanely, spectacularly, running out of adjectives, good. Go see it. Please, do yourself a favor. And in IMAX, too, that sound, like when there's like a little ship thing at the beginning of the movie, and you're like, I feel like I'm going up into space. Really, really, really well done. And so yeah, all right. But if you have seen it, again, leave. I'm gonna spoil the movie. I'm gonna ruin it for you right here. It's the end. The only thing that people might be split about is like the very end. It's like the whole fifth dimensional beings and stuff. I'm like, oh, so they like Michael Caine's like, they put the wormhole there for us, and Matthew McConaughey's like, who's they? And he's like, oh, I'm like, oh, it's God. They just don't want to say it to be politically correct. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, I'm Catholic, so it makes it really easy for me. It was really cool. So at the end with the tapestry stuff and all that, all the threads of like whatever, the 5 dimensions in a third dimensional space where time is like relative and all that. It was really, really well done. So props to that. But I could understand why some people would like that. If you're an atheist, even if you are an atheist, you'll be like, all right, I can follow it. It's like some other weird thing. But I can see why people would be torn about the ending. But I really liked it. So, and that part, and with the wave planet, when they go back and like they just lost 23 years in less than 3 hours. Oh my god! Well, more than 3 hours technically if you do the math. But yeah, and that was like 9 minutes of screen time. And then Matthew McConaughey's like, it didn't work. There's nothing here. And then the guy that left on the ship is like a gray beard, and he's like, I waited 23 years for you. And he's like, the first 10 decades, I thought you might come back, and then the next 15, I was starting to lose hope. And I'm like, that's insane. And I'm like, man. And then they look at their the videos that Michael Caine's been sending them. They're all crying, like their kids are all grown up, and people are dead now. That's incredible. I've been saying that word a lot. Let's try a new one. It's really cool and like so touching because Matthew McConaughey's like in tears because his daughter's an adult now, and he's all like, I just missed my whole kid's life in like that. And it was incredible. Damn it. All right, no more of that word. But yeah, so go see Interstellar. That's the point. Thank you for watching. Should I turn it off without? All right, let's just do this.